Before anyone builds a useful customer journey analytics report, the foundation has to be right. That foundation has three parts: datasets, connections, and identity. Datasets are the facts you want to analyze. Connections decide which datasets CJA can use. Identity determines whether separate records can be understood as part of the same person, account, device, or journey. If this layer is weak, Workspace may still look polished, but the analysis will not be trustworthy. In Adobe Experience Platform, a dataset is a collection of data based on a schema. In simple terms, datasets are the source material for CJA. A web events dataset might contain page views, clicks, product views, checkout starts, and timestamps. A CRM profile dataset might contain customer ID, loyalty tier, region, and account status. Support and store datasets add more evidence from the journey. Lookup data can turn an ID into a readable name or region. CJA does not start with a chart. It starts with source material. Data type matters because it changes how you think about analysis. Event datasets describe things that happened, so they usually need timestamps. Profile datasets describe attributes like who the customer is or what segment they belong to. Lookup datasets enrich other data by translating IDs into useful context. Summary datasets represent summarized facts. If you are studying a journey, event data gives you the path. Profile and lookup data make that path easier to understand. A CJA connection is where administrators define which experience platform datasets are available to customer journey analytics. Adobe calls connections the foundation of CJA, and that word is accurate. If a dataset is not part of the right connection, its fields will not be available for the data view you want. The connection also has practical implications: which sandbox is used, which data window applies, and how dataset settings are configured. So connection is not just an import step, it is a design decision. Identity is where many journey projects get real. One shopper might appear as an EC ID on the website, a CRM ID in the customer database, an email hash in campaigns, and a support ID in the service system. How do we analyze that as one journey? Adobe Experience Platform Identity Service works with identities made from a namespace and a value. The namespace gives context, such as CRM ID or email. The value is the actual identifier, such as customer 12345. Together, namespace plus value creates a fully qualified identity. Here is the important part. Identity is not magic. If a web event only has an anonymous cookie and a support record only has a phone number, CJA cannot simply guess that they are the same person. You need a realistic identity strategy. Maybe a login event connects the browser ID to a CRM ID. Maybe support calls include a hashed email or customer ID. Maybe store purchases use a loyalty ID. The goal is not to collect every possible identifier. The goal is to design the right identifiers for the journey questions you need to answer. For IST Retail, imagine the business question is this: why do shoppers abandon after starting checkout? And what do they do next? We may need web events with checkout start and abandon. We may need email campaign events to understand influence. We may need support events to see whether customers called after getting stuck. We may need CRM profile data for segment and loyalty tier. Now ask the practical question: which identifier connects this journey? That is where implementation decisions become analysis decisions. Before you trust a CJ analysis, review the foundation. Which datasets are in the connection? What type is each dataset? Which fields are timestamps? Which identifiers are present? Where could identity coverage be missing? And which dataset is the source of truth for important business definitions? If the team cannot answer these questions, the analysis may still be useful as a draft, but it is not ready for executive decision making. The takeaway is simple. Customer journey analytics starts before Workspace. Datasets provide the facts. Connections make those facts available to CJA. Identity determines whether the facts can become a journey. Once this foundation is solid, Workspace becomes much more useful because the analysis is built on data the team can trust. In the next lesson, we will use this foundation to understand cross-channel journey analysis.